Hi, this is Nature Jack. Welcome to Science with Nature Jack at Home, a series of experiments to make you enjoy science more, to do with your parents, or just watch me do it. Have a great time and enjoy the show. Hi, this is Nature Jack. Welcome back to Science with Nature Jack at Home. This lesson is about the time of the year we're living in, the spring of the year, and when birds are building nests and what we can do to support them. So I just want to show you, this is a sign of spring. This is from a Forsythia branch bush, and you may see these around your property, and the bush is producing these beautiful yellow flowers, and this is a true sign of spring. You also may know if you go outside, and you should be taking your children outside to experience spring this time of the year, you'll probably see lots of birds, but especially robins, prancing about on your property, looking for worms, and also looking for mud. This is the Forsythia. So this is what a robin looks like. And she's known as a red-breasted robin because the feathers on her chest are reddish orange. These are some nests I've collected over the years. They're all robin's nests. And you can see that they're shaped like a bowl. We call it a concave shape. And it's shaped like this so the eggs don't fall out. And robins go around after a heavy rain like we've had the last couple of days here in Bala Cynwyd at my house. This is my backyard, I'll remind you, and they go around poking their beaks into the ground, digging for mud, and they collect over 1,000 mouthfuls of mud to build their nests. And you can see all the mud that went into making these nests. It's about a half a pound of mud. In this nest, there were over 350 pieces of grass and maybe some other materials that they found outside. They also used the soft grasses inside to protect the baby chicks when they're first hatched out of the egg. So this is a nest I found many years ago. Most of the material on the nest has already fallen off, but you can see how the nest is still stuck to this tree branch because the robin uses that mud to collect from the ground, and she pastes it onto the branches with her saliva. She makes almost like a glue, and it holds the nest on. This nest has been on this branch for over 10 years. It's pretty amazing. Not much left of the nest, but the base, the bottom, is still attached to the tree or the branch. And then after the robin has spent all those hours collecting all that mud, she might need to wash herself off. So you'll see in the next video section how a robin came to my neighborhood and washed herself off in my recycle can lid. So these are little containers of Play-Doh, which I'm sure some of you have at home. And I'm going to take these containers of these pieces of Play-Doh, like right here. I'm going to take 2 blue Play-Doh pieces, and I'm just going to mold them into a ball. You might want to do this with your children. You may show them how you roll it in your hands like this. It makes a sphere or a ball shape. And then you can take the sphere or ball shape, you can put it into some kind of cereal bowl, and you can press it down with your hands, just like this. And then when you take it out, it almost has the shape of a bird's nest. Check it out, just like that. And you can show your children how they can press it down with their thumbs and make it into the concave bowl shape that's just like any bird's nest. And then if you want to, you can break off another piece of that, roll it into like a sphere, put it in the nest, and voila, you have a robin's nest. It's actually the color of a real robin's egg. So then you have the egg nest made out of clay. The second part of our lesson today, I'm going to show you how to make birdseed bird feeders at home, because all the birds that don't eat worms, that eat seed, need the energy as well so they can build their nests. It takes quite a bit of energy or strength to build these nests, and these birds run out of food very easily, so we're going to help them out in that way. If you go around your neighborhood, I'm sure you're going to be able to find some pine cones somewhere, right underneath a pine tree. Almost any pine cone will work. I'm going to put some gloves on because what we're about to do is a little messy. And this time of what's going on around the country, it's very easy to find disposable gloves in your house. So we're going to need different ingredients for this part of the experiment. You might want to have some shortening. Shortening is really great because if you line the pine cone with shortening, then the squirrels won't go to it as much. If you use chocolate icing, which is also fun to use, and your children might want to taste this while they're making their pine cone bird seed feeders, but if you make it with this, the squirrels will likely carry them away into their nest and they'll eat most of the ingredients. You also have a bunch of bird seed that I bought at Giant. It was on sale for $4 for a 10-pound bag. So here's a really important thing you need for this bird seed feeder. You need a spool of yarn or some string. I've already attached a string or a piece of yarn to this pine cone. You can see it's hanging up really well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pine cone and I'm going to cover it with this shortening, which actually came in a stick. So rather than a container of shortening, but anything will work. So I'm going to take my shortening and I'm going to smother it in this pine cone. I'm going to cover the pine cone. I'm going to cover the pine cone with the shortening so it's completely covering the whole pine cone, which is of course fun to do for the kids because it's very messy and sticky and it has great texture, and you can talk about the texture of shortening, which is sticky and slimy. Now I'm going to take a bowl of birdseed, and I bought birdseed at Giant. It was on sale for $4 for a 10-pound bag. And I'm going to take my pine cone, I'm going to put it into the birdseed bowl, and I'm going to lift up the birdseed and cover the pine cone in the birdseed, which will stick to the shortening. Turn it around a few times. The kids will enjoy touching the birdseed as well because it has really kind of bumpy and soft texture. And then when you pull it out, voila, you have a pine cone birdseed feeder with shortening and birdseed, which you can hang on a tree anywhere so the birds will be able to sit on a branch and eat the seed off of the pine cone birdseed feeder. So you want to hang it on a tree so it's not too far hanging down too far so the birds can access it or get to it very easily. So now we're going to take another pine cone and I'm going to take a piece of yarn which I already cut off with a spool of yarn, and I'm going to tie the string or the yarn to the pine cone so it stays on there. So it's hanging on the pine cone. And now I'm going to take the second pine cone and I'm going to cover it up in chocolate frosting. So again, we're going to do our best to cover up the pine cone in the frosting, just like we did with the shortening. Again, if your children are using the frosting, is even more fun. It's sticky, it's slimy, and it also tastes really good. So they might enjoy tasting or licking their fingers after they do it if you let them do that. Now I'm going to take my pine cone again. I'm going to put it into the birdseed, and I'm going to twirl it around inside there. Not twirl it, but spin it around till it's completely covered. Again, I'm going to put the seed over the pine cone, kind of smush it in there. And then when I pull it out, there it is. It's covered in birdseed. Now the problem with the frosting is one thing is it's more fun to use, but then again, when it hangs up there, the squirrels will more likely enjoy it than the birds. But it is fun to do, so maybe you could do both shortening and frosting. Okay, so I'd like to show you a nest. This is not a real nest, but it's kind of a make-up nest, a make-believe nest, and it shows you about all the work that goes into making a nest, that the eggs will stay in the nest when it's built, and all that work takes a lot of energy, and that's why we created these pine cone bird seed feeders that you can hang up around your trees, and most likely the ones with the shortening will most likely feed the birds, and the ones that are with the frosting will most likely feed the squirrels, but you're going to make all the animals in your neighborhood happy. Go outside and enjoy nature during this difficult time. This is Nature Jack saying, enjoy nature, and thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Science with Nature Jack as we hang up this pine cone bird feeder for the birds to eat. Thanks for watching Science with Nature Jack.
I hope you enjoyed as much as the birds.